Okay, I'm back home now. I'm showered, and I had a massage done earlier, so earlier I had some lines on my face, and you'll see that in the video. Also, don't mind me, I'm human, and I have a pimple on my face. I'm usually someone who has pretty clear skin, too, so that just goes to show you that everybody has blemishes, no matter what. And so I I'm home now, and I called my mom to just talk to her about that one situation where I was crying over my dad's sister being lost, and if she recalled any information from that, and she remembered the situation happening for sure. And I told her that my therapist thinks that I might be a reincarnation of her, and she was like, whoa, like, that's really cool. And it started just to like make sense to me. I was like, okay, well, that would have been my grandmother's last child, and I think I think that would have been my grandmother's last child. So I saw 111 right as I said that. So my grandfather ended up having another kid with someone else later on. So it makes sense that I would be the next child down who would have gotten to reconnect with her in that way. And I remember growing up, like, when my parents were married, we were really close with my dad's mom. And so I just feel like holy this is like a super big realization in like my identity almost. And it felt like a super big like realization and part of my identity and who I am. So another thing that came up for me was something that it keeps coming up is my experience learning about the chakras in my yoga teacher training. And we did this sound healing meditation where we did a sound for each of the chakras, and it was a super powerful experience for me then. And I had some really powerful transformations come out of that as well, as far as like realizations go. But one of the things that we learned and that kind of stood out to me today after the session is we learned that each of the chakras has a note that it's tuned to. So when a baby's born and they cry, their first cry, the note that they cry their first cry on, in whatever chakra that lines up with, is probably the chakra that they are going to have the most difficulty balancing in their lifetime. And while not everybody's measuring what notes their babies are crying when they're first born, one of the things my teacher mentioned was that if you have recurring trouble with one of the chakra centers in your lifetime, then that's probably the one that you were born crying to the note of. So my throat chakra, before this whole experience and uncovering that there were some things, I just saw 333 on my life path. So I've always struggled with my throat chakra. Even as a kid, it was like I've never felt like my voice has been heard. I've always had trouble speaking up, and I've always been super shy, to the point where like my teachers would say, you need to take your daughter to therapy because she's got something wrong with her socially. Like I was afraid of talking. And it's funny because I'm talking to all of you here now today. And so there's definitely been some healing that's gone on there. But and I've realized that I've done a lot of work with the throat chakra. And it's funny because my most natural state of like feeling fun and free and happy is when I'm singing. And I've felt that way my entire life. Like I started singing when I was super, super little. As I got older, like dealing with issues in the throat chakra manifested into a thyroid Hashimoto's autoimmune disorder. And I've been able to heal that through a holistic lifestyle. So that's why I know I can heal endometriosis with holistic lifestyle changes as well. But my dad's sister died because the umbilical cord wrapped around her neck when she was being born. And that to me felt really symbolic, that's how she left, and then I was born into this world in that way. You know what I mean? It's just this deep knowing. I keep calling her name, and I don't know why, But yeah, I just feel this deep sense of connection, and I know, like, for sure that I am her and she is me. It's really interesting. I am not like totally sure what to do with it yet, but it's more just like it feels good and calming knowing that I don't have to wonder anymore. Like I have an answer, and I'm excited to see how that manifests. Like I feel like I gained another spirit guide, even though she's always been there. I just didn't realize it, you know. So the other cool thing is I ended up telling my mom about my experience today. And I've been on this spiritual path, and I've been able to connect with my grandmother for several years now. And I simply haven't known how to tell my mom this. And she kind of organically asked me earlier and said that my cousin was saying she could hear spirits and she could hear my grandma talking to her, and I just laughed because I knew that she definitely could. And my mom was asking me about it, and if it's possible and if I can too. And it's the first I've really been able to open up and tell her about my experiences, and her coming to me signified like she's ready. In the past I haven't known how to tell her because I didn't want to scare her. I didn't want her to think that I'm crazy. And it just feels like this sense of like a generational healing there. I don't know. But I feel like I have some answers, and I feel like I have some guidance now, and I'm ready to see what my journey holds for me. I feel incredibly empowered. Eating gluten-free Girl Scout cookies, we're about to go look at a possible venue for our wedding. We have a meeting with Jessica Youngblood over at Youngblood Vineyards, and I am super excited, so let's go. Just got home a little bit ago from checking out the vineyard, and it was a super cute little space. I honestly had no idea something like this existed around here in Michigan. They've got absolutely everything on site that you could need. They've got your tent rental, The venue space itself, they've got a restroom trailer, the tables, the chairs, and they're beautiful tables and chairs. They're like the wood farmhouse tables and chairs. They had like a bridal suite and all of their like wine tasting pavilions and stuff up front. It was absolutely beautiful. There were even farm animals there. They had goats and rabbits, and it was just so much fun for everybody. It was a super rustic, like country farmhouse venue, if that is what you're looking for. We are definitely keeping an open mind. We're gonna look at a few more places and see what we decide to go with, but we had a good time today checking out the Vineyards, so that felt good. If you're in the Michigan area and looking for a space to have an event or have a wedding, check out Youngblood Vineyards. I hope you enjoyed this week's video. If you did, don't forget to give this a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe. You can feel free to share this video with anybody that you know who might be struggling with endometriosis, or if that is you, then I'm so glad we have crossed paths. You know, my whole goal is to spread awareness and just bring this whole idea of spirituality into holistic health. And my only hope is that if my story and my journey can help at least one person, then I feel like I've done my job and my work here is done. So I thank you so much for your support. Thank you for continuing to watch, and I will see you next video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to show your support. I'll be back next week with more videos. I love you guys.